Alright, let's stop messing about. First of all, these standings are wrong. I need to update them. But while I do that, I'm going to say hello, everyone, and welcome to GRS F2 Season number 13. Round number 6. Round number 6. For the British Grand Prix. There you go, there's one of them updated. And there's the other one updated. Bosh! So Dino leads the championship by 8 points at the moment. Followed by Britan, who's not racing today. Let's double check that. Yeah, he's not here today. He said he'd be here in a few races time, I think for a mystery race. Connor McCabe is P4. Then we have Arno and Callum Morris, Furkan, Charlie Gordon, Harry Spanzig, Hayden Williams rounding out your top 10. And some more drivers. As for the constructors, 2 points at the top. Look how tight that is between Haas and McLaren here. So that'll be something to watch out for. But it's still early days in terms of the championship. Well, actually, it's kind of mid-season now, isn't it? We're about halfway through. But yeah, today we are going to Silverstone, of course. Round number 6. It is the third race that is not a mystery race, I believe. It's the 4th. It is the 4th. And then next week is Belgium. The week after is another mystery race. And yeah. Then we've got Baku, Imola, another mystery race, and Mexico. So lots of mysteries still to come. Today we should have a full grid. I think we're going to get 2 more drivers joining us shortly. We currently have 18 in the lobby. Let's switch to the lobby now. There we go. We are waiting for John to select his tyres. Oh, Callum can't at F2. Oh, he did at F2. I think. Who knows? Anyway, here we are in a nice sunny Silverstone. Rare sunny Silverstone. Let's see who's going to be first out of the garage this week. Obviously, this track is anti-clockwise. Is it? No, it's not. But the pit lane's on the other side to usual, is it? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. No, the pit camera's in the wrong place. That's why I'm confused. This camera is usually at the other end of the pit lane, you see. Ooh! Close battle between the Alpine and the Haas. Anyway, John has left the session. So let's see if we can get him back in. Should be right at the bottom, I think. No. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, let's get all the stuff we need to see up here today. And we're on board with Dino Pescadilla, your championship leader, who will be the first one to settle out today. Yeah, how is everybody? If anybody is watching. Who knows? People may watch, people may not watch. I'm alright. Life is okay. The Bahrain Grand Prix has been officially cancelled, which means I'm not going. It's devastating. It means instead, on the Monday, I will be commentating here. How fun. The cars look very wide down the... Ooh, which straight is that? Is it the Hangar Straight or the Wellington Straight? I think it's the Hangar Straight. My corner names are going to be a bit rubbish here today. But I know a few of them, quite a few of them, but not all of them. So this is through the Exeter Club corner, I think. Anyway, here we go then, on the Hamilton Straight. In towards turn 1, which I think is it Abbey? I'm not sure, this might be Abbey. One of them's Village as well around here. Third gear. Now we have the loop. I think this is the loop. I don't know. On traction, on power. DRS open as we go down the Wellington Straight. I'm going to have to Google these. Into Brooklands. I know this is Brooklands. Down into 4th gear. Took a bit too much curve for my liking there as we go into Luffield. Tightened his line into Luffield as a result. Probably not what he would have wanted. Through the fast right-hander It's really not even a corner now of Woodcote. On the old start-finish straight towards Copse Corner. 7th gear through here. Do not exceed track limits, but if you do, you can get away with it if you go wide enough, actually. So especially in the race, that can be helpful. If you do run wide at Copse, run even wider. And rejoin late and you'll be okay. Anyway, through the S's section, Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. Found what I believe is the hanger straight towards Stowe Corner. Let's see the off-board camera here. Flicks it in, 5th gear. Back on power again, running out of battery as we head towards the final chicane on the lap. Which I think is the Vale chicane. And then round the final corner, it's a 26-1 opening lap of the day. Next across the line is actually Robert in the Alpine. He goes 2nd fastest, and then 3rd fastest is Burkan. What about Owen in the Aston Martin? He's going to go 4th fastest, so no one beating any of the times set so far. Who have we got coming around the corner? It's Hayden Williams in the Williams. He goes P3. What about Arno? He's run out of battery across the line. He makes it P3 himself. 4/10 off the pace at the moment. Anson is in the Chrome McLaren, and he's coming around the final corner too. And he's going to set a 26.4, also going to P3. So quite competitive times early doors here. Let's see what Callum Morris can do. And I'm going to get up a Silverstone track map with corner names. There we go. So I was right about Abbey and Village and the Loop, the Wellington Straight and the Hanger Straight. Oh, I got them all right. Oh, mate. The only one I missed was Farm and Aintree. Never heard of those. Hey, I did well. That's Callum Morris has gone P3 and FA has beaten it, all gone P2. But so far, the first lap of the day from Dino is still the fastest time with 11 drivers on the board. Here's Willie John, though, in the first sector. So let's see what they can do. 27.4 for that first sector. Getting a nice shot from the helicam now as well. There's the track. Well, it's really a hairpin. Doesn't feel like a hairpin, does Luffield? As the Haas boys make it a 1-2 with Daniel Backlick going to P2. Very impressive time from him. What will the Kick Sauber do of Willie John? I believe Dakota will join us in the other Sauber at some point. And John Hearn's back in the lobby as well. We should be expecting Spanswick, Harry Spanswick at some point too. But he's having issues connecting with online services. A very common issue with this game. Oh, speak of the devil. He's in. Harry Spanswick is here. He has joined. Anyway, what's this going to be for Willie there? A little bit of oversteer as we go through Vale. And across the line is a 27.1. That's P10. And Zan's also gone P2 there with a really competitive time. So that's good. Barton Outing is on an out lap. So he must have bailed out after invalidating his first time. He's out early for a second run. Let's see what he can do with a full lap on board with the Mercedes driver here. I believe everyone else around the track is coming into the pits unless Anson's pushing. Anson is pushing. But I'm going to watch Bart. Here we go. A little bit of overtake into turn 1. Flat out through there, of course. No reason to lift. Reaching 182 mile an hour. Little bounce over the curb from the off-board shot. A little bit of a wiggle of the rear end as he gets on power. And now this is a really important exit onto the Wellington Straight here. DRS and overtake enabled. Mind the bump on the right-hand side. He does do that as he goes under the bridge. And into Brooklands we go now. 5th gear, throwing the car in. Sliding the tyres the perfect amount. As the car... It's a never-ending turn. It feels like a Luffield, and he's gone off the track. He's got away with it. A little bit of gravel on his tyres, though. That's going to compromise him time, but he does still have a time on the board here. Flat out through Copse, yet again. Downshifting to 7th as he goes. And now Maggots and Beckett. And let's not forget Chapel as well, that final right-hander. I find the hardest one. Very easy to run wide here onto that grass. He doesn't do so. He gets the DRS open and uses all the track he needed to. now up towards Stowe. Still got 30% battery, much more than some people earlier on so far this session. Maybe a little bit off the track there as well as we head into the final chicane of Vale and Club Corner, where we saw the infamous Through Goes Hamilton move a few years ago. This is going to be a middling pack lap from Bart. Actually, it's last. It was not a middling pack. It was unfortunately P last for Bart Melting there. As Dino is going for another run. Let's see what he can do with this one then. 2.5 tenths down after one sector. That is not good at all. Must have had a poor run through that first sequence of corners. Wonder if he will bail out of this lap by the end if he hasn't gained it back. Up to the high speed stuff now. Nine minutes to go in this session, and Dakota says she is booting up. And we'll get in the lobby very shortly. Purple sector 2, he's gained 2.5 tenths back in the middle sector as Dino says. It's all on this final sector to see if they can put a bit more daylight between themselves and Zan, currently in P2. Zan is only 12 milliseconds behind him. That was a bit deep into the final couple of corners, and that could compromise the exit, and that could be all the difference to mean they do not improve, and they do not improve. By 36 milliseconds, they fail to improve. But they are still fastest of anybody, so that is some comfort to them so far, as we see the Alpine here getting out of the way as lots of drivers are now on their second runs, including FA and including Robert, who's coming around the final corner. He's barely improving though, but all he needs is a little marginal improvement to gain a place, but he can't do that. And he stays 5th, fastest. Hayden's also coming around the final corner. He is a 10th up though, and this could jump him up one place. Can he beat Arno here? No, he only improves by 4 milliseconds in the end, so people finding pace early on and finding it difficult to beat at the first time of asking. There seems to be a Haas going slowly here, trying to get out of the way, and that is Dino. As Harry Spanswick comes through on his first lap. Dakota would like an invite. They're ready to go. Core something is their name. Do I even have Core something? I don't know. They may have just joined. I saw something in the bottom of the screen. Oh no! Owen is out. He's retired in the pit lane. That's what we saw at the bottom of the screen. Dakota, I definitely don't have you, right? I'm not losing my mind. Yeah, I don't have you. Add. There we go. Right, Harry goes P10 with that lap, and Daniel Bakulik goes fastest after FA has also beaten Dino's provisional pole time from earlier on in this session. That's a great lap from Bakulik, finding 4 tenths on his teammate. That is impressive stuff, as I now have a friendly crest. TTV. Twitch.tv. No, that is not the case. My EA does not have an E in it, Owen. Yeah, well done. Corrected your mistake there. Because I can't remember why. I want to say it was taken. Maybe I made a dupe EA account and forgot. I just took the E out. Oh, that's an invalid time for Backlick, but he's coming into the box anyway. Who's driving round now? Burkan, 2 tenths up on a hot lap. There's some drivers crossing the line. Let's have a look at them. Willie John to the line. This is going to be a 2-tenth improvement. Will it gain him some positions? It does. Up into P9. We now have the other Alpine. He goes P12. Red Bull going P14. That is John Ahern. We've got a couple Mercs coming around the final corner. I think they're going to go into the box. Bart is on an outlap. What about Connor? Nope. Burkan. 5 tenths up on Burkan. Yes, Owen, I have an E. My Steam name has an E. So the name I actually use has an E, but my EA account has no E. Literally everything else has an E. Yeah, there you go. There's a Ferrari who's getting out of the way. Nope. Jack Cocaine has crashed. What happened? Jack Cocaine has retired from the session. There we go. Anyway, Callum Morris is up to P3 and all of that. He's also beaten Dino's time, so has Arno. So Dino needs to fight back in this final run, coming up very shortly. I think everybody is on in laps here. Get off pole, bro, says Callum Morris to Daniel Backlick. I know, this is an impressive showing from the Haas driver, but as we know, they are famous for bottling races. So maybe that will happen. Maybe it won't. Maybe it will be a masterclass from Daniel Backlick. We don't know. FA is, of course, extremely quick. Callum Morris is very quick as well. So this is a tasty grid at the moment, especially with Zan in P6. Two championship protagonists, 5th and 6th at the moment. Tasty grid. Will anyone have anything to say about it? Charlie Roberts seems to want to be starting at the back. Well, let's see, 3.5 minutes to go. So the drivers are starting to come out for their final run here. FA win, says his Aston Martin teammate in the chat. FA win. Stairs. It will be a very close race. Could be a good race as Jack Cocaine is back in the session after it looks like his AI retired him, maybe. Might be what's gone on there. Anyway, is this a lap from Robert here? I think it might be. He's using battery towards Copse Corner. Let's watch him through this high-speed section. Oh yes, that is an invalidation. It looked tight. It looked very, very close indeed. But does he have the fuel? If he can save the battery, if he can do lots of braking, accelerate, you might be able to go again, lad. You might be able to. If you stick it in lean. Oh, you can't stick it in lean, can you? No, he's coming into the box. That is the end of his session. Robert will be... Oh, unless he can get out again. No, I think he'll be P7 at best for Robert. It's unfortunate. What's Dakota doing? They're on a lap. They haven't set a time yet. So currently P18 as a result of that, as Robert has now retired, and that is definitely the end of his session. Oh, a bit wide into Copse there. Corrects it in the end. Uses a bit of battery as well to make up for the mistake. And now into this corner. Do not invalidate is the main thing through here. Throw the car in when you can. That's very close to invalidating, but keeps it on the road. And now has no battery left, actually. This is probably a result of using hot lap for most of the lap there. Through Stowe corner, 5th gear, getting on the power as early as possible. Couple corrections of the steering wheel down into the final chicane. Around the final corner. And what's it going to be for Dakota? It's P18. Let's see, Daniel Backlick, the pole city, he's going again on another lap. But do we have drivers ahead of him on the track? We do. Harry Spanswick will be the first across the line. Can Charles stop gooning and do a lap? Well, he's on the track, so clearly he's listened to you. And I think he's going to be starting a lap very, very shortly. So let's see if they can get off the back of the grid. We do have a full grid here. It's very exciting. More so than we do in real F1 at the moment. And Harry Spanswick improves by 3/10 to go P9. And let's see who we got next. Hayden is starting a lap. I think Furkan is also starting a lap. I think all these guys are on outlaps at the moment. Let's see, where is Daniel Backlick and FA? Backlick is doing another run. He's got the fuel. FA is not. This is going to be FA's chance at putting a lap good enough for pole position. One more sector to go, a few more corners to go here. And then everyone else will come and respond to this time. There it is, checker flag is out, and FA crosses the line, and he can't beat Daniel Bakalic's time. He's half a tenth out of the time he needs. What can Dino Puscadia do? They're 4 seconds down, they're P5 at best in this session. Charlie Roberts coming through Stowe for their first and only lap of the session. What's it going to be for them? Apparently this is Hulkenberg, according to Owen on his screen, but for us it's Charlie Roberts, and he goes P17, a 27.2, narrowly behind his teammate John Ahern there. The Alpine driver here is 4 tenths up. I have forgotten who it is. I'm sorry. It is just Mikal, isn't it? It's Mikal. Oh, that's his actual name. How can I forget his name? Anyway, round the corner we go. P9, 4 tenths improvement. What about Callum Morris? It's not Callum Morris, it's actually Hayden crossing the line next, and he goes P8. There's a couple of drivers pulling into the pit lane, and whoa, it's not the pit lane, that's the gravel for Zan, and it's going to be P6 at best for him. What about Conor McCabe? He crosses the line to go P7. The McLaren teammate of Anson is going to be 2 tenths down. They're not going to improve on their time. Harry Spanswick has already crossed the line, so they are done. Arno, though, stays P4. Is anyone going to challenge the pole position? Where's Daniel Bakalik? He's not bothered to do a time. Callum Morris is invalidated. John Ahern improves by half a second to go P14, but looks like that is it, as FA rounds the final corner after doing another lap, but that is only going to be P2 for him. So it's Daniel Bakalik on pole position for the British Grand Prix by half a tenth from FA, and a further tenth and a half back is Callum Morris, and Arno in P4, Dino Puscadia in 5th with Zan in 6th, the championship protagonists sharing the 3rd row of the grid. Conor McCabe with a good final lap to move him up to P7 from P15. Roberts P8, then we have Hayden, Anson, Mikal, Willie, Harry Spanswick P13 after only getting 2 runs in, joining late. John Ahern P14, Bart in 15, and some others down the back. I think Owen's down there as well, along with Dakota, Jack Cockane, and Charlie Roberts down there as well. Wonderful. I don't think we have rain in the race, so we would have been told already. Jack didn't set a time in the end, so I'm not sure why. I think he got retired. Yeah, the game retired him when he left, it looked like. But there's your grid for this Silverstone race. Full grid, which is exciting to see. So let's see what's next. I'm excited. Ooh, it's cloudy. It is quite overcast. Well, I don't think there'll be any rain. I think we would have been told. Owen, can you tell us if there is any rain? I know you're watching. I don't think there is any rain. I wish I could press a rain button, spawn some rain in whenever I want. Anyway, let's have a look at the pit lane. We've got some lovely marshals here. One of them is fancy enough to wear a green marshal outfit. We also have an Alpine mechanic down there. Looks like he's... what is he doing? Looks like he's doing nothing. Like, those hands aren't attached to anything. You know? It's like he should be at a desk, but he isn't. There's no desk. The desk is to the left of him. I think. That's bizarre. What else have we got? Nobody in the pit lane itself. No fans. Oh wait, there are some fans. Anyway, no time to look at that because the lights are coming on. We've got 4 red lights and now 5. And the lights are gone and we are racing, and Daniel Bakalik leads them away ahead of FA at the moment on the front row. It looks like Bakalik's got the better start and he's going to lead into turn 1. FA slots into P2. Arno gains a place up into 3rd. And then there's some cars going off the track slightly in the background there as Callum Morris is fighting Arno back for P3 and 4. They're side by side into the loop. Callum's on the inside, Arno's on the outside here, and we're going to see who has the better traction. There's a spinner in the background. It's Robert Jovanovski all the way down to P20 with that spin. I'm not sure who tagged him. But that's really out. And look at the championship leaders. They're fighting side by side into Brooklands here with Dino on the inside. And it looks like he's going to hold on to that position in this early stage of the race. Hayden fighting against Conor McCabe as well. Down in 7th and 8th. And they got a great exit on Zan. Zan could be under pressure here for P6 and 7. Let's see them all filter towards Cop's corner. No one risky enough to make a move into this corner. So it is as you were a few corners prior as they all filter through Maggots and Brackets. The high-speed section. FA is now 6/10 behind your race leader Bakalik, who has a great run through those couple of corners. And actually Callum Morris has a better run of everybody as Bart has made a mistake and he's run off the track. And he's losing loads of places down into 18th and 19th now. In fact, yeah, no, he's still dropping down the field. So that's not good for him. Jack Cocaine is quite close to the car ahead of him. Let's have a quick look at the positions gained. As we do. 7 places gained for Jack Cocaine on the opening lap. What a great lap from him to start this race as Bakalik leads him across the line for the first time. After completing a full lap in the lead of the race. To go to second highest gainer up 3 places. But those are mostly because of the incidents for Bart and Robert. Down at the back there. Let's have a look as well at the tyres, although FA looks like he might have a good run here on Daniel, but it's not quite good enough to make the move as Hayden's going out the inside on Conor McCabe into Brooklands. There's a bit of contact between them. The rear tyres were touched. It looks like Hayden here is on soft tyres. That could give him the grip he needs in this early phase of the race, and he's trying to use those tyres to get past Conor McCabe here very early doors on lap 2. We also have the hard tyres in the field as these two are going side by side into Cops, down for 14th and 15th. The Red Bull sister teams. But looks like the sister team has one out on this occasion. They're both white Red Bulls, so it's a bit confusing which one is which. Let's go on board with the rear wing of Daniel Bakalik in the lead because he's under big pressure from FA here, who has the DRS. He's going to pull to the outside as Daniel defends the inside line. Round the outside of Stowe we go for the Aston Martin. It's not going to be enough space to complete that move. Let's watch on board with Callum Morris and see if there's going to be any late dive bombs down here as Dakota loses a couple places down at Stowe Corner as well. As these two are side by side. Owen making up a place on Bart Nouting. Bart trying to fight it back up the inside, but he backs out of it. Plenty of racing action going on here. So yeah, talking about the tyres, we've got 3 drivers on the soft tyres so far in this race. They are Hayden in 8th, Furkan in 14th and Owen in 16th. We've got a driver in the pits. That is Charlie Roberts, I'm assuming for some front wing damage. That's awful for their strategy. Pit loss here is absolutely massive because that speed limit is so low, down at 37 mile an hour. We also have some hard tyre runners of the 2 Saubers, Willie John and Dakota, and then we have Robert, and Charlie's now put on the hards as well after starting on the mediums. Everyone else going for the more conventional medium tyre start here. Now FA, you're closer than you've ever been, but it's a weird place to overtake. You want to wait until you get to Stowe Corner, so you've got to follow through here, and that can be a challenge in itself. I would save the battery as well. Don't want to be using anything you don't need to. As we switch to the Helicam, could this be the lap where FA takes the lead here from Daniel Bakalik? Bakalik has 60% battery to use, and he's going to use it. Let's go on board with FA though. They're going to switch to the outside again because they're forced there. And it's going to be the same again, but he's further ahead this time. And he might be able to hold on to it round the outside. He's going to have the inside line for the next corner. They're still side by side. Bakalik is going to have to try and hold it round the outside, but it turns into the inside for the next corner. There's still room for him. And he keeps the position. Can Callum Morris get involved with a through goes Hamilton-esque move? No, not quite. FA will have to wait until the next lap. And still, Bakalik. Oh, there's a spinner in the background. There's a Mercedes. It's Harry Spanswick. He's off and into the gravel. I don't know if he's been touched, but that reminds me of the Albon and Magnussen incident a few years ago in real life F1. Maybe he was touched at the final corner by another driver, or maybe he lost it all by himself. But we saw him stranded sideways as now FA is going to use his battery power. Daniel didn't expect it because he has loads of battery. He didn't defend it really. He could have probably defended it, but FA got a great run, used the little battery they had and got past. So then, on to lap 4. FA now in the lead, but only with 10% battery compared to the 50 and the 27 of the 2 drivers behind. In fact, every driver in the field has more battery than FA in the lead right now. So surely they're not going to last very long in this position. There's another yellow flag. That is Harry Spanswick. Also onto the grass yet again. No damage for him, but ultimately 30 seconds behind. Well, 13 seconds behind, I should say. Is big enough damage, to be honest. On board with P14, and it could be Bart's trying a double move here. Looks like Furkan's lost 2 places there. It's these 2 drivers blast past with a bit of battery power. And into the pits comes Furkan off the soft tyres. He does not like those. As Harry gets another time penalty for corner cutting, he will surely be retiring from this race. And it's a bit of a disaster race for him. Strange strategy from Furkan, to be honest. Don't really know why we're in the pits so early. I'm assuming there's a front wing ready. Looks like there is. No, there is not a front wing ready. So that is just a weird strategy. And that's it for Harry Spanswick. He turns up late and he leaves early. What a terrible waste of time for Harry Spanswick today. Unfortunate. I wonder if he was tagged in the rear by somebody, as Callum Morris now looks racy out of these top 3. As he runs wide at Copse Corner in the dirty air of the Haas in front of him. DRS enabled for these guys, and FA's maybe starting to stabilise. It still has very little battery power at this moment. Down towards Anson in P9. He's going for a move on the inside of Hayden into Stowe Corner. Hayden will try and fight it back, but those soft tyres are already giving up at this stage, and the hards behind will probably be better at this time. So it's now on Willie John to see if he can get past the stricken soft runner. Meanwhile, Dakota's eyeing up a move on another soft runner down at the back. This time it's Owen Thomas. Dakota on the inside into the first corner. This could end in tears, but it doesn't. It's actually really good side-by-side action between the 2 of them, and Dakota holds on to that position up into P16. They do have a penalty already though. So, but yeah, decent overtake there for the hard runner, and that tells me the hards are definitely the better tyre than the softs at this moment. Some DRS train has formed here in the top 7 cars. So, in reality, all of them are in contention for the race win at the moment. What's happened here? I think Mikhal's made a mistake, and he's going to lose 1, maybe 2 places as Barton Outing goes up his inside into Stowe Corner. Can he hold on to it? Yes, he can. He's through before the braking zone, and Mikhal's coming straight into the box. That could be some front wing damage for him, or maybe just to retire from the race as he spins into the pit lane. Takes a 10-second time penalty, and that is that for Mikhal's race, I believe. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe that was not intentional. A nice drift into the pit lane. But yeah, 6 laps on these mediums. I'm surprised that we're seeing pit stops this early. You really want to do a 1-stop around here if possible. As I said, the pit loss is so big. It takes a lot for a second pit stop to be worth it. Even under a safety car. Well, virtual at least. Callum Morris struggling to stay with DRS of Bakalik and FA. Is the gaps at the front starting to spread out a bit here? Looks like they are. 1.1 seconds now. Can he be in at the detection point? No, he's already passed it. No DRS for Callum Morris, and that could be crucial to breaking up this train, although he has gained 3 or 4 tenths at the exit of Chapel. Let's see if he can hold on as we see some 3-second time penalties coming for drivers down the field. Owen getting one just then. And into the pits comes Hayden, as he was under pressure from Willie John. But yeah, the driver on the soft tyres. Makes sense to make a pit stop now if he started on softs. The medium run is clearly looking for a 2-stop. But I really expect the winning strategy to be a 1-stop today. If you can make it to the end, you got to try. You got to try and manage those tyres. Definitely, as Anton puts on another set of mediums. Hayden puts on a set of mediums as well. In front, Callum Morris still does not have the DRS. He's going to have to rely as Dino's getting very close to the back of Arno's car, who's also lost DRS to the car in front. Oh yeah, Callum's going to have to rely on the front two, battling it out at some point, or maybe an undercut to try and get back into this lead fight. Let's watch as they go through the detection point, the gaps here. This could be crucial. Backalick, 6/10. Callum Morris over a second. Arno over a second. So Dino will have a great run here. He's only 2/10 behind. He'll have a great run on the hanger straight to get past here. Sticks it into overtake. He's got drivers queuing up behind him as well. So he's got to make this move. And he does. Around the outside nice and easy. No contest into the braking zone there. Zan is next up to try and get past the Ferrari. Hey, look at all the red, white and blue in the grandstands. Is that because we're at Silverstone, or they're just empty seats? I just noticed. I don't know. Yeah, loads of people were wearing blue. Fairs. Ooh, Bakelite with a big mistake as we switch on to him, and that could lose him the DRS for that next detection. He gets it at this one. It could allow Callum to close up as well, but no. Could that mistake give FA the chance he wants to break away? Could be crucial as Barton Outing is into the pits for a set of hard tyres. And he's down to 17. Meanwhile, John Ahern and Robert and Jack fighting for P9 at the moment. But of course, there are drivers who have made a pit stop behind. Backlick, what's it going to be? Are you going to be in the DRS? Yes, you are. That was very, very tight. Callum Morris has definitely lost it now. And now Dino, with his exceptional tyre management, is coming back through the field compared to these other runners. He's passed Arno for 4th. He's now looking to pass Callum for 3rd here. Will he be able to do it on this lap? I'm not so sure. Meanwhile, the other Ferrari of Jack Kane is under serious pressure from 2 drivers. And what's going on here? We've got pit stops. Callum Morris and Dino both into the pits on lap 10. This is a more reasonable time to try and make the hards work here. This could be a 1-stop strategy for these guys. Jack Kane also in as he was under severe pressure. Let's see if the undercut is going to make the difference here for these guys. 2 drivers out in front will surely respond on the next lap. Otherwise their lead is at threat. Also have to see how much these guys battle out of the pit lane. Look at this. As Furkan is out in the pit lane. I think, yeah, he's out in the pit lane. It's our 2nd retirement of the race. Meanwhile, Zan on Arno could be a battle. Ooh, and also Dino's come out right behind Anson, which could help him get the DRS here. But it may not. It may cause some traffic as running wide is Conor McCabe. Lots of little scraps going on here as we get to the pit window. Furkan's left the session. But yeah, Dino now being held up by Anson for sure, through Brooklands. He's really pushing to make the undercut work. Here comes Zan on Arno. And you expect some of these guys to maybe make a pit stop this or next lap here. Zan to the inside and through. Up into P3, but will he make a pit stop immediately? Let's see. No, he stays out. Arno decides to box after being overtaken. Smart play as Robert Jovanovski on the hard tyres goes through into P7. Also Daniel Bakulik into the pits trying to undercut the leaders. Let's see where Dino is. He's stuck behind a McLaren, but not for long. He's going up the inside of Stowe. Key move there. Callum Morris will try and follow him through. As Anson's on fresh tyres. Anson has jumped his way into this leading pack because of that 2-lap undercut on mediums. Wow. That's a big difference. It's not the traffic I thought it was. It's pacey traffic. Fresh tyres. Hayden as well has undercut himself into contention at the moment. But of course they might be doing an extra stop. Or they will be doing an extra stop. Here comes Arno out the box. They're way behind. Way behind. And Bakalik has actually filtered out. Oh, there's a McLaren up his inside. Is Daniel Bakalik. And now he's going to be under pressure from the Williams of Callum Morris around the outside here. It's ever so close between the three of them, in fact, as we switch to the helicam. Late on the brakes as well for Hayden behind, trying to get past Anson. Is there a gap to sneak past here into Luffield? If he gets a good exit, it will be a side-by-side affair into Copse. Anson's trying to hold it around the outside, but no, he doesn't have the straight line speed or the acceleration to do that. So Dino, I think, is in the net race lead now. Look at that. 1 lap undercut on Bakalik, 2 lap undercut on FA. As FA comes into the box and speeds into the pit lane. He speeds into the pit lane. FA, under no pressure at all, has bottled it. He's locked up both front tyres. He's gone too late on the brakes. He's forgot about the 37-mile-an-hour limit, not the usual 50-mile-an-hour limit. And that could cost him the race win. Meanwhile, Willie John now leads on the hard tyres. Dino Puscadillo is going to take the lead anyway, or the net lead rather, because of that pit stop. But I don't know what the but was. FA's down in 7th. Oh, so speeding in the pit lane. So it's a Haas 1-2 at the moment. Wow. Nothing to say but wow there. Nothing to say but wow. Wow. So what are we going to see in this second part of the race? We've got 8th and 9th here, still having to stop again. We've got everyone else, it seems, trying to make a one-stop work. Apart from Mikal, maybe too long. Bart, maybe too long. Top 3, John Hearn's into the pits. He's definitely doing a one-stop. 14 laps to go for him, and he's very conservative into the pit lane, down to 30 mile an hour. But it's better to be conservative than do what FA did and get that speeding 10-second sign penalty. As Dino sets the fastest lap of the race and moves up into P3 because of that pit stop. Here's FA though, he's going to try and fight back and get as high as he possibly can in this race. And he's through on Callum Morris for P5 at the moment, as Charlie Roberts has decided he's had enough of driving around at the back and he's retired from the race. Here's Arno though on the inside. Oh, what a great camera angle, thank you very much, Gain. On the inside of Luffield on the McLaren, and he's through. Nice and easy. Lovely move there. On the fresher hard tyres versus the old mediums, and those old mediums already starting to struggle. Tyre wear really bad at this track. Conor McCabe's going to capitalise maybe on a poor run from Anson through Copse, but he has no battery to fight with, does the Racing Bull driver here. Neither of them do. Actually, that's not a lie, that's a lie completely, as Anson runs really wide and is under serious pressure now from Conor McCabe, but he can deploy the battery if he wants, and he has done so, and he will maintain the position. Back to FA up in P5. He's got 2 Hasses ahead of him, but he wants to win the race on track at least. And if he can get away from that 1 second, he could try and put some steps into that 10-second penalty. You know, get as high up as possible. He could still win this race if there's a lot of squabbling and he gets into the lead. But he's got to get into the net lead first. That's job number 1 for FA here. And more specifically, job number 1 is get past Daniel Bakkerley. Who's weaving on the straight to break the slipstream. Meanwhile, Conor McCabe might fancy a dive bomb into Brooklands on Anson here. Up the inside, Anson's trying to hold on around the outside. Is there going to be room for him to stick his nose in Luffield? There is. There's still space to accelerate out the corner, but he doesn't have the traction. And that is going to be a good pass for Conor. However, Anson has the superior battery at the moment. He may try to fight back, but he's got no grip. He's got no downforce. He's got absolutely no grip into that Copse corner. And is now under pressure from his teammate Zan, who somehow, out of all this, has lost out. He must have pitted late. Yeah, he did pitted on the same lap at FA and is now down in 11th. Once again, his teammate runs wide and nearly loses it on traction out that final corner. There's a move for the lead as well, by the way, as Willie John pulls into the pit lane. Arno's is a move. There's moves everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. As Willie John speeds into the pit lane as well. It's catching out many drivers today. Is this slow pit lane speed limit? But yes, Arno through on Hayden. Willie John into the box, but we don't need to think about him because he's got a time penalty. Robert as well. Going to have a lot of time to make up on this alternate strategy, but I just can't see it being the one. I think the hard is the preferred race tyre. You want to be on that towards the end, I think. And you want to undercut as well. The undercut's super powerful, as we've seen already. And here comes FA on Daniel Bakkerley, but he hasn't got the run. Hasn't got enough speed to do it this time. Got to save battery. Look at the battery management from Daniel. He's got 75%, 80% now. As Bart throws one up the inside of Brooklands. Will Mikal try and fight it back? Don't think he's got the traction to do so. He does have the battery though. Could we see a move into Copse? Come on, make it overtake of the day. Stick into overtake. You boring racing driver. Well, that's fair enough. It would be an insanely risky move. On board with FA again. No battery. Story of the day with FA. He's had no battery this entire race. He needs to stick it in none and keep it in none. Let's watch him for a bit. As into the pits comes your race leader, Robert Jovanoski. Will he speed into the pit lane? No. Very well slowed down. And Dino inherits the lead of the race once again. I say once again. For the first time. It's the other hat in the lead. What a strategy from Dino with that undercut. But now he's under pressure from his teammate for the race win. And FA's here as well, let's not forget. If he can get through and the Hasses squabble too much, he can still win this race. It's a tough ask, but it's possible. Meanwhile, Arno's got a bit of a train behind him too. Down in 5th. In fact, I think that's Hayden's train. On those old mediums, he'll be stopping again shortly. And here comes FA maybe. As there's been a mistake for Dakota. He's retired in the pit lane. Or before the pit lane. I don't really know what's happened there. Here we go, Zan gets past Hayden. Conor McCabe will be next, but let's watch FA. He's so close, but he's got no battery. Save some battery, lad. Save some battery. Put it in none. You don't need it in medium here. Put it in none. Keep it in none. Look, keep it in none. None. None, 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 none. Medium. No, don't use overtake. You've got no battery. Put it in medium. Put it in none. Put it in none. Right now. There we go. Keep it in none for the rest of the lap. The rest of the lap, keep it in none. 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 Don't even try. Don't try. You're not going to make it. None. Good. There we go. I'm teaching a better driver than me. I think effort. I don't know. Surely he's better. Anyway, Hayden into the box. Will he speed? Oh, the marker board's gone. That's cheeky now, that is. Anyway, FA, stick it in none. We don't need medium battery. We don't need it. Stick it in none. Keep it in none as Mikal speeds into the pit lane and may surely retire from the race. I think he's sped twice now. It's another retirement. FA, you've got a great run this time, but you've got no battery, I'm afraid, my friend. You've got no battery. Ooh, here could be a chance. It's Daniel Bakkerley, but he's got battery. He'll just deploy it. I mean, I have the... Unfortunately for me, I have the knowledge that Bakkerley has loads of battery, right? FA doesn't know this. We assume he might know this because he might have a race engineer watching the broadcast and saying, Bakalik has 76% battery, you know? But yeah, stick it in, none. Stick it in, none. Here we go. Zan on Arno. This could be an easy pass, maybe. As he's gaining, despite putting it in none through the corners. Now he's got overtake engaged, and Arno is surely going to try and fight it. He is not. No. I didn't think he would fight it. That's what I meant to say. I said the wrong thing. Zan goes through for a nice easy P5. And let's go back to FA's battle. He's got Callum 7/10 behind, but that does not seem to be a problem for him at the moment. And he's got a record amount of battery for him, 46%. I've not seen it this high in ages, as John Ahern makes up a place on Jack O'Kane, and actually Willie John is trying to fight it too on his fresh medium tyres. Look at the difference in speed and traction, and he's through. Bosh! As Jack O'Kane comes into the pits, surely to retire the car. Right, FA, you've got 40% battery. This is good. This is good. However, Bakalik has 90. So put it in none. Put it in none. Put it in none. There we go. There we go. That's all I want to see. Jack O'Kane is in the box. When is Bakalik going to try and fight for this race win, by the way? That's what I want to know. Oh, he's made a mistake. He's got Twitchy on the exit, and he's deployed to make up for that mistake. This is good from FA, not using the battery through here. Sticks it in none into Cops, down into 6th gear. Bit of overtake on exit. Not too much. It's good. This is better. This is better. Forcing Bakalik into mistakes. Forcing him to use his battery to defend. That's what you want to do. Now pin it. This could be the run. Is he going to commit? He's going to commit. He's going to commit. This is going to be it. Up the inside maybe. Is there room? No, there's no room. He's run out of ERS deployment. He's run out. And unfortunately, he's going to have to wait even longer to get past Daniel Bakalik. Owen is chilling at the back. Let's watch him. He's got 100% battery. Go for fastest lap, mate. Go for fastest lap first after fastest lap after... Oh, we've missed the overtake. FA! Oh, you're joking me. No way. How have I missed the overtake? How? I switch off for 1 millisecond. And Bakalik makes a mistake. He has to have made a mistake, and FA cruises past. But I think Bakalik will get him back. I cannot believe I've missed the overtake there. That is a disgrace. Nothing happened for so many laps. I switch off for 1 minute to have a joke about Owen, who said he's last and having a leisurely drive. And suddenly, the overtake is made. And it was instant as well. It had to have been a mistake from Daniel Bakalik. Had to have been. And now Dino is trying to put the foot down. Because he knows he's got FA behind him, who maybe is a faster driver than Daniel Bakalik. But Daniel Bakalik has more battery here and could maybe try and repass. Let's see. 60%. Overtake engaged. DRS deployed. But no. FA has a 5.5 advantage. He doesn't need to overtake him, of course, to get that P2. But if he wants to win, he has to get back towards his teammate. And he has to get past FA. Meanwhile, Willie John is catching up to John. John v John. Last name versus first name. As FA now fancies a go at the lead, and he's all out of shape through Luffield, wrestling with the car. But ultimately he has pace, and he wants to win this race on track for pride, and pride alone. You never know, he might be able to gap 10 seconds. I doubt it. But you never know. Here we go then. Dino defends aggressively to the left-hand side of the track, instantly breaking the slipstream, and so far that is enough to hold on to the lead. on this occasion. They both have similar amounts of battery. Bakalik is now struggling for battery. His tyres are wearing off considerably. FA, of course, the freshest tyres of the lot here. So maybe the undercut or the overcut is now starting to pay dividends here. Bakalik being dropped from the front too. As there's a yellow flag, it is Robert who's had an issue on the exit of Chapel and he's lost 2 places. Back to FA, the battle for the lead. But unfortunately, it's not really a battle for the lead because of this time penalty. Here we go then, DRS on the Wellington straight. Again, aggressive defence from Dino Puscadia here. Robert Jovanovski has retired in the pit lane, making it our 6th retirement of the race, down to 14 runners. We are focusing on the top 3 at the moment. Maybe the top 4 if Callum Morris decides to get involved, but I don't think he has the pace unless there's some serious squabbling between the 2 Hasses. It would have to be serious squabbling. FA being in the middle of them is not helping this in terms of Callum's chances. Currently FA is finishing, let's see, where's FA going to finish right now? It's going to finish P7 at the moment. And that's not good. He might be able to gap Conor McCabe though at this pace, I think. Maybe Arno as well. .3 the gap, lap 22. The race leaders begin. 5 laps to go, including this one. And if only FA didn't speed, this would be absolutely box office. And it still could be. It still could be. Brooklands coming up. No way through there. No significant speed advantage to get through that corner. He's trying it in Luffield, trying to set it up, but he gets a shaky exit. Bit of oversteer. Surely not into Cox, no. Backs out of it. Backs out of using the battery. He's got to pick a moment to deploy everything and hope that is the right one. As Daniel Bakalik is starting to get involved again. It's 4/10 between both of the top 2 guys. Top 3 guys even. That's a bit wide at Chapel. That's going to compromise his exit. Rule him out of this fight. On this particular lap, Callum Morris is still there as well, but really hard to overtake around here. Really hard, it seems. With some evenly matched drivers here. He's close, 2/10, but again, you don't need to use battery through there. It's not an overtaking opportunity in my opinion. He's going to go for it here. Is he going to go for it? He's got to run. He's got to run. He's going to send it down the inside into turn number 3, I think. And unfortunately, he's not quite had the apex speed to carry it. Dino carries the extra speed around the outside as Bakalik makes a mistake. FA's trying to get through, and he is through. Surely, side by side now. Dino has run wide onto the Wellington straight, and that is it. FA's into the lead of the race. But it's not really the lead of the race. The lead of the race is still in Dino's hands. And now Daniel Bakalik can smell it. This is dreamland for the other Haas of Daniel Bakalik. He sees the race win in his sights now. 4/10 the gap. It's been halved because of this overtake. FA can get down the road. He's not going to break 10 seconds in 4 laps. No way. Unless something extremely dramatic happens. But now, the other podium runners of Bakalik and Callum Morris can smell victory because of this overtake. The next thing Daniel wants is for FA to break DRS. I'm not sure that's going to happen. I am not sure that's going to happen as Dino closes up to within 3/10 again. Into Stowe corner. Runs a bit wide though, and will allow Daniel to gain a couple of tenths back. The top 4 in very close proximity. Zan lurking in the background in P5 as well. It could all kick off in the last few laps of this race. Let's see, 9/10 the gap, but he's got the DRS. He's going to use it to close up again. Can FA gap before the next DRS detection? I don't think so. This might be dreamland for Dino, actually, having this car in his slipstream, although he's made a mistake at Luffield. He's made a mistake. It's down to 8.5 again. Is FA going to burn? No. He has no interest in burning battery. 7/10, 6/10. It's back to 7, but it's going to be 7 as they cross the detection point. Detection point very early before the sequence of corners, before the DRS zone here. And it could be a stalemate at the front here. In fact, Daniel's lost loads of time there. And now it looks like Dino might fancy a battle for the lead himself. Three-second time penalty for Anson in the McLaren. He's down in 11th place at the moment. That will not cost him a position if that is his first penalty. Let's have a look. It is. Though it could cost him a position to Willie John, who's got a 10 seconds. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, it could cost him a position, that penalty. Gap is about 7 seconds to the car in P9 at the moment. Penultimate lap of the race here. It seems to be settling down into this rhythm at the moment. Could Dino lose DRS for the final lap though? He's running out of battery. FA's pushing to break it. But also, Bakalik is out of DRS. Just don't think there's going to be a change here. And he's gained a few tenths. Zan has got past Callum Morris for podium place. What's happened to Callum? Did he make a mistake? Did he make a mistake? I thought he was well clear. No, he's lost so much pace in these last few laps. His tyres must be absolutely fried. 15 laps on those hard tyres. And he's now lost the podium. Are we going to see any punctures maybe? Callum Morris has been out there the longest on these tyres. 16 laps. I'm not sure if it's puncture territory, but he's got no pace at the moment. Meanwhile, FA has broken DRS to Dino. And Bakalik has it, but he doesn't have the battery, I don't think, to fight into Stowe. He needs an almighty middle sector to have any chance of fighting for the race win here. Callum Morris has lost 1.7 seconds to the car ahead. He's got no pace, his tyres are finished. They're absolutely finished, they must be borderline puncturing here. Bakalik up to 6/10. Neither of them have any battery. 5/10 now, but that's a bit of a wide run through Copse. And that's lost him a tenth of a second, that could be crucial. They both have nothing. Who's going to get the better run through Maggots, Beckett and Chappell? Bakalik, can he afford to take a warning? He's 6/10 behind, he's got DRS, he's got battery. He will close, but I don't think he's going to close enough. The gap is 5 and a bit tenths as we come to the final couple of corners. It's not going to be enough for Daniel Bakalik to fight for the race win here. It's going to be FA who crosses the line first, but unfortunately that speeding penalty will drop him well down the order, maybe to P5. Dino Pusqueria, the championship leader, wins the Silverstone race here, followed by his teammate Daniel Bakalik. It's a Haas 1-2. They extend their lead at the Constructors with a maximum point score. Zan is P3 after an excellent drive, getting Callum towards the end of the race, who had absolutely no tyres left. He finishes 4th. FA gets 5th in the end, despite that penalty. So that is a very good drive from him as well. Arno 6th. Connor McCabe in 7th. And is that a puncture I just heard, or is that a glitch? I think that was the sound. No, that's the front left puncture. Is that a front left puncture? I have absolutely no idea. Could be. Could be. It doesn't look like it though, does it? I don't know. John is 8th, Hayden is 9th, Bart Narting picks up some points in 10th, Anson 11th. Willie John is out of the race. That was the crunch I heard. He finishes 12th across the line. Jack Cocaine 13th, and Owen, let's see a mega final sector from you. Why didn't you pick fastest lap, mate? You could have got a point. FA complaining about the pit entry being moved. I'm not sure if it is, but the board was gone because of that spin into the pit lane from somebody we saw earlier on, I think Furkan. Yes, Connor did get a puncture through Maggots and Beckett's on that final lap. Decent little race. It was a good start. It sort of faded at the end. If FA didn't have time penalty, it would have been really interesting. But, yeah, there we go. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. FA is claiming a victory. Callum Morris, 85% tyre wear, he says. After that, there's your race winner, Dino Pescadia. Fastest lap went to FA. Bart Naughton got driver of the day from the video game itself. And apparently John did the most overtakes in that race. So there you go. There is your final result. Jack going from 20th to 13th, but that's because of 60 NFs. John Ahern gained 6 places in that race. Pretty decent race for him. Zan, I think, is a good contender from driver of the day. Same with Dino, 5th to 1st. Got to be. Got to be. Let's do driver of the day. I don't fancy doing interviews today, I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah, do join us tomorrow for more Silverstone. I'm not racing tomorrow, unfortunately. But that's fine, because I'm terrible at Silverstone. But yeah, also Wednesday we have F3. And next week, we are back once again for another round of this F2 season, where it will be Belgium, the Belgian Grand Prix, on the 23rd of March. But yeah, I'm going to post driver of the day. That is it from me today. I cannot be bothered to interviews. I'm too tired. I'm sorry. But yeah, until next time, goodbye.